Hey guys, good evening. How are ya? I have about 44 minutes here, so I'll use that to make this next video for you. Today's the 4th of August, Sunday, 2019, and I am your host, John from Dark City. What's his name? John Murdoch, is it? Or Truman from The Truman Show, whichever one you like. Or you could say, not really, but somewhere along the lines of sort of a Neo from the Matrix. Not really. I haven't gotten the glory yet. Or, I took the red pill 11 months ago when I woke up. Not because somebody offered it to me and gave me the choice between taking the red pill or the blue pill. And in a strange way, yes, that did happen because I had the option of getting high the whole time and taking the blue pill, or refusing all the garbage and taking the red pill. So I took the red pill and I woke up. Now today I'm going to discuss with you the main idea that I've learned over the last 11 months of awakening and what's being done to us, especially what was done to me. Guys, movies like The Matrix and all those movies you see where they tell you, it's actually happening right now, and it has been happening for a long time. We are being farmed. Human beings are being farmed to harvest our energy. Today's slavery is very different from yesterday's, the one we read about in the history books, we watch in the movies, where they put a chain on your neck and kick you down the field and make you plow and steal your woman and whatever. They follow the same guidelines. I've seen this little girl 5 times today. Every time I come out, I see her. Every time. Every time. Can't even tell if it's a girl or a boy. There we go. So, we're being farmed. If you look at the way the streets are designed and cut up, and how they use the GPS, and how they use Wi-Fi and cellular phones, we're being farmed through those things to use our energy. Like I was going to say, today's slavery, how is it different from yesterday's? Yesterday's was physical. It involved a lot of labor, physical work. It involved a lot of that stuff. It was mostly physical. Today's slavery is your mind. How? How can you enslave someone's mind to exert and harvest that energy that the mind exerts, puts out when it's being enslaved? We're going to get into topics like the maze. And what is a maze? Now, they make maze games for people to play for entertainment. A maze is a torture bin, guys. It's a place full of confusion and full of brainwash and mind control. But why is it created? Primarily, it's created to drain you of your mental energy, that motor in your head that keeps working overtime, and in the end just doing circles, going around in circles, trying to figure it out so that you could be happy. You're being farmed. Your mind is being farmed. You exert a certain energy when you do that, out of the confusion, the stress, all those things, and that's being harvested. It's a huge energy farm, the planet. Now, it's happening to all of us on a big scale. But what these guys do, they choose the weakest elements of human nature, human society, like this idiot, and microchip her ass to be linked to me. Look what they put out now. What is this? How come I can't see it on the camera? Oh, there it is. Some kind of spy plane. Weird. Anyways, so they use this idiot and others like her, this moron, all these morons you see that are stalking me. They chip them and they tell them, you're a part of us. You have no choice. It's either them or you. And they use them to get to the strong ones like me, because they can't get to me first. They would have never been able to convince me to do that sleazy job and get chipped. So they have to use idiots. by using the weaker element in society and controlling it, they can deprive the strong element of a life and control the strong element with the weak elements that do the dirty work. Tell me in a covert way that I'm microchipped and on a leash. Again. So we have two idiots here. But who's really on the leash? More than anything, it's them. That's the sad part. They don't know it. They don't know that the real person that's on a leash is them, because they were brainwashed and lured into this thing because of their weaknesses, in order for them to apply a certain agenda that they don't even know what it means in the end. They don't even know what they're doing. So what this does, all the pacing and stalking and psychological warfare and everything, it drains your mind, it confuses you, it annoys you. It's draining your energy. It becomes a farm. All this constant movement in my face and noise being applied to me. So the microchip that they put in my eyes when I had my eye surgery, what did they do? They allowed these elements to be connected to my eyes. So as soon as I look at them, they know. They start to move. If I don't look at them with my eyes, they stay still. As soon as I look at them, they move. How would they know if I'm looking at them? They're not going to look at your face the whole time. Some of them are not even facing me. They're facing the other way. And I look at them, they start to move. They grab their hair or whatever. So those are those weak elements of society that agreed to get into this farm and play the role of the people that are aiding the straw to suck my energy out. They're holding the straw pretty much. The straw came to them and said, look, we're going to vampire your asses whether you like it or not. You could either conserve your blood, hold the straw for me so we can suck it out of the strong one, or get your blood sucked. What are you going to choose? Which one you want? That's exactly who these people are. They chose to hold the straw, to make guys like me that are so strong and have so much energy to exert become a Slurpee. So, this system, the whole system, in its base, is energy farming. Guys, the whole point of why they put you in debt, and they keep on sending you these bills, and the collection agencies bothering you, why? This creates worry in your mind. Every time you find out about it, every time they tease you with it, it's taking energy out of you, keeping you in a realm of worriness. Worry attacks the mind first. Fear attacks the mind. Psychological warfare, obviously, it's psychological, attacks the mind. So they're enslaving our mind, not our bodies. Because if you look at the big cities and the so-called free world, there's a reason why they call it free world. Because with Satanism, it's the opposite. So whatever they call it, turn it the other way around, you'll get the truth. You ain't free here. You're enslaved. Anyways, it's human farms, energy farms, everything, the way the whole system operates. In my situation, it's times a million. It's intense. It's a grip on me. Through my microchip, I'm getting all the needles that all of you guys get, but multiplied with intensity and constant. So I don't get a chance to think. This is why the implementation of noise around me through the microchip and movement, that's constant sucking with a straw your energy, slurping it out. Constantly. Every time you hear a noise, every time you hear you see a movement, the more of it, the more slurping. All right? So, distractions, mind confusion, all those things. This is why we have a lot of suicides nowadays in the world. That's the reason why schizophrenia and mental illnesses are increasing. Because our minds are being enslaved. They're being slurped out. And we're running in a maze of confusion, trying to figure it out. And putting out energy and overthinking things and worrying. That exerts the required energy for these guys to harvest in these farms we live in. If you look at these houses, human beings are meant to live like this. Each one separate beside his neighbor. If you want to live that close, that's up to you. Now, why do we have buildings? The design and architecture of a building is actually a cage, a human farm. A bunch of blocks, boxes, and people living on top of each other all the way up. It's a big farm. I'm talking about the architecture now of it. This is how we're meant to live, guys. The closer we are to the ground and the trees and nature, the more human we are. Now, when you see this all day long and walk on this, believe it or not, you will feel better on the inside than on this all day long. You'll get depressed on this you'll feel better. It actually attacks you emotionally and psychologically through its color, its feel, and its fakeness. It's not of natural earth, even though it's materials taken out of earth, but it's not of natural earth, it's man-made. Believe it or not, this will affect the way you feel, but it's minimal. We can't recognize it because it's minimal. It's a combination of a lot of things that we're being attacked with for us to feel this way. Strong lights, lots of noise. Oh, there's another one. So here we go with the planes. I'm talking to you guys about important things, that's why. So we're being farmed. Now, I'm not the first guy who mentioned this. You have tons of documentaries on YouTube. Check them out. I mean, when The Matrix came out, that's what the movie's about. Pretty much, we're being farmed. We're being turned into a battery. But not our bodies, our mind. Because most of us are not awakened. And what does it mean to be awakened? Most people think, oh, I'm awake. I know a lot about everything. Yeah, what do you know about? What does it mean to be awake? What it means to be awake is to understand your environment, to ask questions. Why is this person standing there? How come there's a lot of cars on the street every time I come out? Why am I 40-something and I don't have a kid and a family? Is it me? Was it my actions? Or was it by design, something that set me up along the way? Once you start asking those questions, that means you're awake. And the more you ask them, the more awake you become. And everything you notice and realize. That's it. That's all it means. It doesn't mean you have to know about the Rothschild conspiracy or whatever. That's bullshit. That's a distraction. So today's Sunday, I get a school bus at 10 p.m. almost. It's 9 o'clock. All right? They're trying to distract me badly. I'm giving you gold information here. So when you see a lot of these videos on the internet, and a lot of these people talking, David Icke, Alex Jones, whatever, they're not lying. They're giving you the right information, but they're not telling you what it takes to wake up. Waking up is asking questions about your environment and your relationships with people and everything that happens to you. Why? How come? That's a real wake up. That's what it means in the Matrix. People that are sleeping in their cubicles and people that are awakened. That's it. Most people do not ask those questions, guys. They just go on with their lives. They hardly pay attention to what's around them in their environment. And you know what? Naturally, it's not a bad thing. Decent, smart people do that because they don't care about what's around them. They're all into themselves. And that's how we should be. Doesn't mean that to be selfish or, egotistical. No, none of that. But this is how we should be. We shouldn't care of what's around us. You know what I mean? Unless somebody needs help, or that's a different thing completely. So, we are being enslaved in our minds in this strange maze that keeps us confused. Do you know why you see the word infinity a lot? And the sign of infinity, it's an 8. Because they're making us go in circles, infinity. We're going to keep doing that. And when our mind does that over and over again, and we don't figure it out, that exerts certain energy that they're harvesting out of our confusion and pain and torture. It's called mind slavery. So when you look at the design of the world that we have, every city, every area, how everything is GPS now, where you could see everything, every corner. There's a reason for that, guys. Primarily is to enslave us, not to create fucking Uber. Excuse my français. All right? It's to enslave us. To know where we are after they chip us. Now they already know through our phones, and we all have them on us. They already know everything. All they need to do is get that phone into your body. Now, they sneaked it into me 23 years ago. I didn't know. Because I'm the kind of guy, if they wouldn't have done that to me, I would have been somewhere really up there fighting them. Like a Malcolm X. They don't want that. I'm not bragging or even comparing myself to that great person. But I'm along those lines, the kind of person I am. So, we're being farmed. Just like they show us on TV, they're doing to the chickens. They put them all in one big cage, and all the little chicks and all the chickens are jumping on top of each other. There's no space. They're biting each other, whatever. That's what we're doing, but psychologically. So, how does this relate to me and to my channel? It is all about your privacy. This is why my channel is called Stop Invasion of Privacy. Because if they don't know anything about you, they can't do anything to you. I'm not stupid when I chose that name. How did they invade my privacy? By inserting a frigging microchip in my eye without my consent. 20-something years ago. That's how they invaded it. And through that microchip, these people were contacted to be in my surroundings and keep my life miserable like this the whole time with noise and movement. And annoy me. And replace the real people at the places that I go to so I don't get the job done. I get mistreated. If I would have gone this job because they put a person there, one of theirs, and they decide they don't want to give me this job, then I don't get it. That's how this works. They're doing this a lot. Not just to me. But to me it was hardcore. Because they had to do something to stop me. I'm too strong. After they started doing this to me back in '97, I actually started my own business on the internet. I was making 20 grand a month. They had to make it tighter and tighter so I would let that go and get miserable. And it worked. They succeeded. But the problem with playing God is us human beings, we have to do so much to imitate what he does. Or she, or whatever, that beautiful energy. A wake up. This is God saying to these little men trying to be God. Look how fast I can wake this person up. Wake up. And then everything they built goes to shit. Because when you wake up, they can't harvest your energy anymore. Do you know why? You don't stay in that realm of confusion and that maze thinking in an infinite way. Of how am I going to do this? What's going to happen? You figure everything out. You take it easy and you try to come out of it. This is what they don't want. People waking up. That's called a real wake up. Calculating whether your neighbor is good to you. Asking the question is, how come this person treats me this way? How come when I went to that interview, that person mistreated me? Why did she do that? That's waking up, guys. Ask questions with your relations with people. Once you realize that there's a fake elements being put in front of you in society that are not natural, by design, on purpose, to ruin your life, to put you on a leash, then you've woken up. It's nothing more than that. You don't need to know information about who started the frigging planet. So, what's being done to us is through technology, is we're being controlled, super controlled, so they can control our mind even more and harvest energy out of us through mind slavery. It's not physical anymore. We all have cars, we can get food, at least in the free world, so-called free world. And that's pretty much it, you know? I mean, I've recorded, what, 20 minutes? I said I was going to record 44. There's about 24 minutes left. I don't know, we'll just have some fun. Maybe some good information will come out and you guys can benefit from it. But that's what it is. That's what energy harvesting is. This is what's been done to us on a grand scale. On the small scale, these guys think they're making a buck out of me by bothering me. They go home. Tomorrow they can buy instead of going to Value Village and getting a jean for $10, they can go to, I don't know, Levi's, Dolce & Gabbana, whatever, buy one for 50. This is the kind of minds you're dealing with here. And what are they doing? They're aiding that big machine, holding the straw so they can slurp out the energy of someone that can make all their lives better. But that comes out of ignorance. You can't blame them. They're just ignorant vessels being misused. You know what I mean? So the reason why something like this would be done to me is because I can't be tricked. So I was super tricked from the time that I was a kid not to figure it out. You see how it works? It still didn't work. That's how pathetic these elites are. It still didn't work. I got gang stalked last year with about 1,000 people every hour. I am not kidding, guys. I wish I still have those old videos. It was mad. About 20,000 people a day gang stalking me. A lot of people out there that have channels used to watch them. You can ask them. In New York and London, we talk. They know that. Thousands. But that's supposed to get all the energy out of you, deplete you. It didn't work. I fought through. I resisted and I persisted. And now look what they had to do. I dismantled the machine completely. They don't even have the balls to make noise for me anymore. Because I exposed the way noise is made through my microchip. It's all tactical and elemental all around me in a computer program. It's not free will. Like the guy who's making noise for me in the car, honking, he didn't do it because he saw me. He's like, okay, now's a good time to honk. No, he feels something through his microchip that makes him honk at that time automatically. This is really fucked up. Guys, if you're watching my video for the first time, this is the first video watching my channel, you're gonna think I'm a nutcase, and if I was in your shoes, I'd think the same. Please watch other videos so you understand what this is about before you, make quick judgments and jump to conclusions. Anyways, so my prison bars have gotten really slim lately. I molded my prison. How? What did I do physically? I didn't do much different. Psychologically. Now that I know more, they have to accommodate and change the design of my prison to what I know. Or they'll lose. I'll show evidence of the abuse. This is mind slavery, guys, what we're going through. Not just me, all of us. But me on a much higher, more intense level. Targeted individuals, they target them for a reason. Because they're stronger and more, they don't get tricked as much. So they target them heavily in order to keep them in their place. In the end, it's all farming. We're being farmed. It's a farm. Another one? Where is it? Yep. Over there. Plane. Another plane. So, look how fast the cars are going. They're going nuts. So, this is how it's through mind torture, confusion, overthinking, trying to figure out, not coming up with a solution, why we're miserable, why we're unhappy, why, I don't know, women may think, how come I haven't gotten married? How come I didn't have a big wedding? Men would think, how come I didn't get this job? How come I didn't get the hot chick? How come whatever it is that, in the end, even the people that have certain materials, or a lot of them, are missing a lot of things. That doesn't mean we're supposed to have everything. But the idea is to deprive us of the main important elements that we shouldn't be able to live without, that keep us happy, which is not the physical stuff. We're deprived of so much comfort and human connection and social connection and energy exchange between us. Instead of us being able to exchange our energies and make them glow together, doesn't have to be in a positive way, it could be negative. Where they're not allowing us to do that. They're dividing us, placing us into cars and machines and small boxes, condominiums, and keeping our social, psychological, and physical interaction less and less and less as we move forward. That's what they're doing to us. Now, in the process, We as human beings are trying to figure out why we're not happy, most of us. Or how come we feel strange, like something's missing? Because they're doing this. They're farming us. Now, you can't blame these two little girls or the guy that just passed by over there that are 16, 17, and 18 or 20, and because their parents did this when they were 5 years old and 6 and made money, and now they've grown, now they're doing it. You can't blame them at all, not even 1%. Because you're dealing here with two small, noise implementation, young, ignorant souls that don't know anything. Boom, 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 look at that. He had to slam the thing that he dropped. He did all that for what? A lady that's probably on a cane, that's it. Look, I mean, it's ridiculous. So, anyways, we're being farmed, guys. And guys like me that get microchipped, they get super farmed. If you guys are a small straw, I am like a big vacuum. I mean, they're vacuuming my energy out of me by doing this to me. All this tension around me the whole time to keep me tense. That makes me exert a certain kind of energy that the machine harvests through the electromagnetic field. Because we're energy creatures, we're like little electrons. Even the air, everything that surrounds us, we're all connected. We radiate energy from one element to another. Now, the problem is they have to do the impossible to keep us from not waking up. Because when we wake up, not only do we not exert energy, they don't benefit, they can't harvest anything because we're not confused anymore. We're finding things out that are benefiting us, not them. It becomes dangerous to them. Because the more we wake up, the more of us we come out there and we vibrate with each other. That means send this kind of information from one to another. Their machine is starting to crumble. Their house of cards, certain cards or one card is being rattled hard. They're scared. So guys, in this mind-human farm that we have, the only way to beat it is for us to wake up. And waking up, I wanted to tell you in this video what waking up really means. It's waking up to your surroundings, calculating, understanding why this person treated you that way. How come this person was rude to you? How come you felt like crap when you came out of the hospital? Something wasn't right. Calculate, ask questions, study your surroundings and your environment and the establishments that you walk into. Study why your neighbor treats you in a certain way. Study why, I don't know, for some guys, why you're always horny, for example. Why you watch too much porn. Study for women why you have a complex about men, you're afraid of them. For example, I'm giving you examples. Study why you're always worried about your mortgage, that you're never going to be able to pay it at the end of the month. Study, ask questions. Whatever the case may be, whatever bothers you, whatever your bad situation is, could be anything. From relationships to financial situation, to your social situation, to anything. Ask questions. That's real waking up. Now, a person that's awakened will actually listen to this and sort of laugh. And I agree with him. I'm laughing too. Because you can't really wake someone up this way, the way I'm doing it. Those things happen automatically in a person. They're either going to happen or they don't. You know? When you wake up. Because I've had a lot of things in my environment back in the days that could have woken me up and I didn't. So it's a process. It's something to do with your physiology. You have to be ready for it. Through enough experience and enough absorption of information. It's not something I can force you into, but it does help. At least what helps is having a video out there explaining to people what real waking up means. Because people think you woke up, oh, you found out who rules the world, or you found out that the system in the United States and in every single country on the planet is rigged. There's no such thing as Republican, Democrat. They both work for the same entity. It's like Pepsi and Coke. They're both owned by the same company, you know. That's not waking up, guys. Or other things some people think. Waking up is asking questions about your relationships with people, about certain strange things in your environment that don't make sense, about certain things that are bothering you, about why didn't you accomplish this by now? Why? Was it you? You gotta ask those questions and think. So part of the reason why we have a huge drug epidemic is to make you not get to the point of waking up, to keep you drugged, sedated, so the mind is moving slow. It's not waking up. Drugs. What else? You know, all the things that, you know, keep you asleep. We have a lot of them in our environment today for a reason. It's not by chance or just to make money. No, guys. It's by design to keep us asleep so the machine can keep on harvesting our energy. I'm talking in the big picture here. At the bottom of it all, this is what's happening. At the roots. The money could be on top of the root. And on top of the money could be politics or whatever. But the root of it all, what's happening on the planet, we're being farmed. You know, we're being put in a big farm and our energy is being harvested through enslaving us psychologically by creating a world of a maze, confusing us, not letting us get to what we need to get to easily. It shouldn't be that hard, life. It should be easy. We should be happy all the time. We're designed to be happy creatures. We're not designed to come and struggle and think about bills all day long and having to pay this and get bothered here and get stressed out there. That's not the idea. You know? Our mind, we are thinking creatures, don't get me wrong. We're supposed to think and calculate. But our mind is designed to make us happy. It's a tool to use in order to triangulate through it and make ourselves happy. Not the other way around. Not to think every day, how can I make $1 million? Because if you think that way, then you fell into the infinity trap. Kind of like a greyhound race. You guys seen the dogs, the greyhounds? When they race, they have this rabbit stuck on this machine that moves in front of them. And the dogs try to catch the rabbit the whole race. I'm pretty sure most of you know what it is, but let me explain it. And never get the rabbit. The race ends and the dogs never get the rabbit. That's what they're doing to us, guys. Not necessarily in the things we think that we've accomplished. More important things that most of us don't even know exist because we never had the chance to get them or be around them. So in this video, I just, wanted to talk a bit about the farming, about what they're doing to us, the design of the streets, the lights, the system. Look from a GPS, look at the design, what they've done to Earth. All the lands that are squared and designed.